Okay, and so we now have Venus unlocked. Before we start making our way across a new planet, there is something else that I feel like we need to talk about, and that is your mastery rank. So this is probably something that's already flashed up for you guys. You can see it's flashing up for me in the top left corner here. And basically, the way this works is the first time you have any item, and like that item once. So let's say we have this MK1 Bratton here that's reached 29. If I purchase another MK1 Bratton and have that reach 29, that will not count towards my mastery rank. However, each time we do each item for its first time up to 30, that is going to add to this affinity bar here, which is usually empty underneath your name, and eventually that allows you to rank up. Mastery rank is important for a multitude of reasons. It's important to get to 14, as I think that's the last mastery rank locked weapon. May have changed since the last played. It has been a bit of a while, but it was last year anyway. But anyway, we're going to take the first one here. Most of them are pretty easy, but some of the middle ones can get a little bit hard. But just to kind of show you guys what this is like, we're going to head on in here. So this is just going to be shoot stuff with primary weapon. If you've upgraded the Bratton like I have, this should really be like no problem. It may not be as nice if you pick the Paris at the beginning, because you will have to obviously charge up your shots and stuff. This shouldn't be too bad really. Well, we've got 5 enemies here, that's like nothing. Interesting, we actually even get affinity in here. It's kind of funny.
I believe you can handle more.
Last round. Did you just say pussycat? Weird things. Makes me laugh. Oh my! Well then, done it right. Oh, I only want to say one more last one, and then when it's finished, we should like kneel down. We are done, and we are officially rank 1.
This test is...
Again, so we can only rank up once per day. There's a chance that, yeah, I'm already pretty high up, because your first like set of gear is going to rank this up several times. Obviously, the biggest limiting factor here is going to take a while for us to be able to unlock a new Warframe. So as of right now, the best things we can cycle are the weapons and the companions. Now, we got given the companion for completing the junction, so you should see here when it scrolls across to the side that we've got this taxon blueprint. That is a sentinel. So in case you don't know, Warframes give 3,000. If you ever do decide to go into the profile and look at the numbers here, you'll see. Let's see if we can just pull it up for you guys. How much affinity you need per level. Look, so we already have an extra 15k here. I believe I think it's the Warframe gives 3,000 affinity when you fully do a Warframe. Each weapon is 1,000. I can't remember how much it is, but you get some affinity for each node on the system. So completing all of this stuff is also going to give you more affinity. So just in general, being a completionist of the game is going to allow you to rank up. However, something that we do have right now that we can use to our advantage is, in fact, the taxon. This isn't too expensive, and it's a sentinel. It's going to take a day to build, that's okay, so we're going to get that started. And that's going to be a nice little farm for us for some extra affinity as we move forward. In addition, my scanner has reached level 30, so whilst I'm going to save it probably, because when I'm going into tougher missions, I do prefer to use the scanner than most of the other starter weapons. We are instead going to come into the armory here, and there are a few weapons we can purchase for credits. These don't have a build time, which is why they have an advantage, and they aren't used as ingredients. Some weapons are. I think the scanner might be, so we might actually need to keep this for later. So this MK1 Furax here, for example, I don't really like it, but we're going to buy it for 15k credits, because now that's going to be an extra 1,000 affinity for my mastery rank leveling up. And we're going to do the same thing across all of these different weapons, okay? Now, the Lato is also purchasable, which is rather nice, because there is an Act Lato that we can build later, but as you can see here, this is locked behind Mastery Rank 3. So when this reaches max rank, we're probably going to purchase one of these as well, and then, of course, with the main weapons, we are going to be purchasing probably Is the burst, is there not an MK1 bursting? There's the MK1 strun. And the normal strun. So we've got 2 struns we can insta-purchase, which is rather nice. And the MK1, where is it? MK1 Paris should also be available somewhere. Yeah, it's there. So we've got 3 main weapons here that we can get done as well. So we can keep on leveling up without using too much in the way of resources, so long as we have money. So I've just dropped a lot of money there. If you haven't done that many missions and you don't have very much money, best place for you to head for right now, this is the place that I am going to unlock next, is on Venus, and we want to head for Romula. I believe it's this one. This should be a defense mission, and it's only going to take us hop, skip, and a jump to get over there. I believe it's going to be open. I'm going to double check now as we go through here. So this is a standard exterminate. I don't know if you guys have done one already. There's not as much for us to look out for on Venus, so let's just go ahead and run this. Well, let's have the extermination down. We'll move on to the next mission, which is going to be a survival. Realistically, we only don't want to do the 5 minutes here. I don't really want to show too many people's, but I'm going to go in like on public. And this is basically just going to be us running around for 5 minutes, shooting Corpus, which should be cool. Let's go in there for a second.
The enemy busy while
And just so I can see how.
operative rates the ship for supplies.
Let me start again.
Ready?
Just so I can show how this works.
Trigger the alarm.
All survival will start out with that we have to cause an alarm with.
Life support has been cut off.
As you can see, top left there, we have the life support system.
Hold on.
That's going to go down over time as we spend time in the mission. We have 2 ways to boost it. As we shoot at enemies, they'll drop life support systems. Let me see if we can just get one to come up. They look like this, look. So the marks, this big kind of metal looking thing.
Look for personal life support
And we can
modules
also
dropped by fallen
use...
enemies.
Oop, let me just hit that laser there. Just so this. So you can come to this, and you can tag this. Often, people don't use these until you get down to like 50%. Obviously, I've been messing around a little bit. So try and hold on to these until you get below 50%, just because it seems to be more efficient that way. So either way, spend 5 minutes here and leave. That's going to be the aim.
Prepare for
Again, so 5 minutes gone. We are going to leave. Get on out of here.
life support incoming.
Cool. See what good we've got out of that. Probably nothing too crazy. I've got new redirection. This is why I didn't do a video on how to get redirection vitality, because they'll drop everywhere. But we're now getting in polymer bundles of alloy plates. This will be a new resource. Now we have access to Romula. Now, notice the... Oh, we can't really see it because it's kind of flashing. But it should say Dark Sector on it somewhere. It says... And you can see that it is Dark Sector because it's infestation. You see these are going to be like kind of weird looking creatures that we're going to be fighting when we go to Romula. All of these nodes always drop way more money. They usually have better resource drops as well. So when you are farming certain types of resources, these are going to be the kinds of things you're going to want to come to most. Depending on your objective, may change the kind of node that you want to use. So for example, if you want money, we're going to come in here, do 5 waves and leave. If you want resources, I think it's Montez, one of these two, is a survival. You'll want to go in there, last as long as you can, and grab all of the resources. In any case, I'm going to run this once, just so you guys can see that we get the 12k credits. It's not going to be like world-ending amounts, but it is going to be enough to start getting your funds up for the things that you want to build. And basically just if you want to build something like a weapon, or you need to get something like that, a couple of trips to that, and you'll be able to get whatever it is you need usually. So yeah, hopefully that helps you out. That's going to be the end of this video. In the next one then, let's take a look at where we want to go next. We probably want to gain access to the Survival 2, and then we'll be moving our way over to the Mercury Junction. And for that, we need to defeat Xmas enemies. We did that already in Survival. Rescue a hostage on Linear, and complete 10 waves of defense on Tessera. So a few things we need to... Oh, we need to do this anyways. There we go, see. So a few bits and bobs we need to do. That'll be next episode, so I'll see you guys soon for that.